I want to ask you about classified documents because CBS has been reporting that Special Counsel Robert Hur is near the end of his investigation into President Biden and his alleged mishandling of classified info. If there are indeed no charges brought, which is what we are reporting, what do you think the signal will be to the national security world?
Well, this will be certainly devastating, continuing to be devastating to the Department of Justice and to the Biden administration with their two-tier system of justice.
What's up, everybody? Major retired Richard Ojeda here, and Republican Congressman Mike Turner appeared on Face the Nation with CBS host Margaret Brennan over the weekend. The Ohio Republican tried to float an outrageous claim that President Biden led a secret double life as a document hoarder.
The fact that Hillary Clinton, who had over 100 classified documents at home when she was Secretary of State, and Vice President Biden, both under Obama at the same time, were taking classified documents home and certainly had them be vulnerable with no consequences, shows the Department of Justice is not pursuing Democrats.
Well, as you know, there is a difference with the case against President Trump, who refused to hand over documents fully and violated the Espionage Act. That's the charge against him, because he didn't work with the government to hand those over.
Turner accused the president of stealing classified documents from when he was the vice president and turning them into a collection of sorts over the next 10 years. The GOP jackaloon was referring to documents that were found at Joe Biden's home. Right-wing nutjobs tried to present a false equivalency between what happened accidentally and what happened intentionally.
You ever go shopping and walk out of a store and realize you missed an item when you were checking out and had not paid for it? Maybe you put something in your cart that did not get rung up, or your kid took something off the shelf and didn't tell you. That definitely happens. Of course, the right thing to do when you realize it happened is you turn around, you go back to the store, and you let them know, and then you return the item or you pay for it. Generally, there are not criminal charges for you in this situation. Of course not. This, it seems, at least from what we know, is what happened with the classified documents found at the offices of President Joe Biden's former think tank, as opposed to what happened with Trump, who, to go back to the analogy, ran out of that store with a bunch of stolen items stuffed in his pants and then refused to give them back. Subsequently, he tried to fight the security guard in the parking lot.
When it was discovered that documents were found at the Biden home, the responsible thing happened, and the documents were returned immediately. Right-wing nutjobs tried to dispel Donald Trump's guilt with, well, Joe Biden did it too. The ridiculous argument started to gain steam within the conspiracy communities and talk shows. The wild accusations hit a bit of a snag when it was learned that former Vice President Mike Pence had discovered classified documents at his home. The fact dismantled the GOP's one-sided argument. Mike Turner tried to explain that Donald Trump's crimes were far less serious than Biden or Pence and blamed all of Trump's legal problems on the infamous two-tiered system of justice that favors Joe Biden. Turner sounded like a Trump rally-goer as he made false comparisons between Trump and Biden. Turner stated that you can't hoard documents in your home for a decade-long period and then suddenly say, hey, 2 weeks while I was president, I cooperated. He then accused President Biden of being a serial document hoarder.
As president, I have the right to declassify documents, and the process is automatic. If I take them with me, it's automatic, declassify. Biden was vice president. He had absolutely no right to declassify as vice president. He doesn't come under the non-criminal Presidential Records Act. He comes under the very criminal Federal Records Act, unfortunately for him, but it's not going to matter because they don't follow the law, which has very severe penalties.
President Trump said that he declassified all these documents. Could he have just declassified them all?
Well, I just want to know, I've declassified everything in the world. I'm president. I can do it all. Come on. Declassified everything. I'm not going to comment on it because I don't know the detail. I don't even want to know. I'll let the Justice Department take care of it.
This type of moronic rhetoric was meant to confuse the ill-advised and undereducated audience. Trump supporters are not known for their fact-checking skills. They usually believe Donald Trump over an overwhelmingly sense of reason. That's why Donald loves him. They are loyal to him regardless of him being wrong. As Turner was making his point for consequences and repercussions against President Biden, Brennan reminded him about the facts. We've all seen the stacks of boxes in Donald Trump's bathroom. We have heard the reports about how Donald showed off these classified documents to people who did not have secret security clearances. Donald Trump likely sold sensitive information to the Russians and the Saudis to make a profit and act like a big shot. GOP jackaloons like Mike Turner don't want to present the truth. They present garbage propaganda to influence gullible people. Turner represents the newest Republican agenda. This is to be loyal to Donald Trump even if he's wrong. If Donald Trump ever wins re-election, clowns like Mike Turner will be there to strip away the very foundation of democracy to benefit Donald Trump. Mike Turner is a sellout, and that is an absolute fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.